In this video, we're going to talk about keyboard lag, which is the first issue that I've encountered on the first day with City Skylines 2. So let's start up City Skylines 2 while I give you some background on what I've encountered as my first issue, which is keyboard lag. Today is the public release day for City Skylines 2. For about a month, I've seen multiple early access videos with gameplay for City Skylines 2. Having preloaded it yesterday, I was excited to try City Skylines 2 on this first day. As a side note, the preload was a download of about 55.31 gigabytes, although Steam calculates it as 56.31 gigabytes. Before the game was able to be played, the files needed to be unpacked. Once unpacked, the game loaded just as the first City Skylines game would. The main menu displayed fine, and I had no issues starting the game. I selected a map and was able to begin a new city. Unfortunately, I've encountered my first issue, which is keyboard lag. Please note that at the time of this recording, I'm not affiliated with any companies including Steam, Colossal Order, or Paradox. I'm not trying to be negative about this game, but I want to share this experience with others. Hopefully, there may be a slight chance that this may help identify the issue with the game developers. I immediately wanted to save this city at the very beginning before I began any gameplay. I wanted to save it with a file name that included river and something else. Unfortunately, this is where I first noticed the issue with the keyboard. After river, I was trying to immediately type using spacebar and other keys, but there was lag. I got impatient, so I just deleted what I had to shorten the save name to just river. Now I wanted to just try to play the game. As I started the new city, I laid down roads, water, electricity, and zoning. While I'm just fumbling around playing, here's some background information on the PC I'm using. The computer is running Windows 11 with 64 gigabytes of RAM. The CPU is AMD Ryzen 5 5500. It's a 6-core 12-thread CPU. The graphics card is AMD Radeon RX 6700. The graphics card has 10 gigabytes of GPU memory or VRAM. Keep in mind that I've updated Windows, Steam, along with the drivers for the graphics card, keyboard, and mouse. I understand that my gaming PC is likely at the lower end of PC requirements for this game. That may or may not affect the overall performance of the game. There's also the possibility that this issue is specific to only my computer or keyboard. That being said, I still wanted to share this issue in case others may encounter the same issue. I understand that this is the first day and the game will have updates. Now, all of that background being said, here's more information about how I experienced the issue with the keyboard. As you may or may not know, in this game, movement with the keyboard or the mouse is also referred to as moving the camera around. Please note that while I was playing the gameplay and speed seemed to be okay. Also note that I'm able to move the camera around with the mouse with no lag or lag that's nowhere near what the keyboard has. This includes moving the mouse to the edge of the screen or window, which moves the camera around. Now on the keyboard, it's the A, S, D, and W keys moving the camera. Although the keys function, it seems as though there's a frequent lag while moving the camera. There are also other moments when pressing the key and the camera movement is exaggerated or a really great distance. Now that could likely be due to how many times the keys are being pressed to compensate for the lag. Unfortunately, the keyboard issue really affects the gameplay. It's my opinion that this issue is specific to the keyboard and not the overall game performance. This is because the issue occurred when naming the file to save it. It's also because the mouse is able to move the camera around fine. Now that being said, to help troubleshoot, I did set most of the graphical settings to be disabled or at a lower setting. Unfortunately, changing the settings did not help the keyboard issue. I even tried to check in Notepad that the keys for the keyboard were working properly. I did try restarting the game with another keyboard plugged in. And yes, the issue still occurred with a different keyboard. Because I use the keyboard to move the camera around a lot, in addition to the mouse rotating the camera, I'll be unable to enjoy playing this game until there's a resolution for this issue. At that point, here's a few things that I've been brainstorming at this time. First is to upgrade the CPU and GPU. This would help for overall system performance, game performance, and maybe reduce the amount of lag that's happening with the keyboard. It's my opinion that upgrading the CPU and GPU would be a huge investment to solve a specific issue with one peripheral. The second and most likely thing that I'm going to do is immediately be patient and wait for a Cities Skylines II game update. Hopefully a game update will address performance issues, including something directly or indirectly related to this keyboard lag. The last thing I could do is try to install the game on another PC. This would give me an opportunity to test the issue on a totally different setup. I may do this, but it will likely not be immediate since that would mean installing Steam and the 55 to 56 gigabyte game to another machine. If I installed it on another computer, it would likely be if the issue continues after the first update from the game developers. As I wrap this up, I'll show footage of rotating the camera with the mouse. This was after all the graphical settings were set down. I'm finishing with this because it's again to show the game itself doesn't appear to be lagging when the camera's rotated or moved with the mouse. If you've experienced this problem with the keyboard or have a possible solution, please feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, subscribe now.